Now that we have our button and text view connected here, so we have a way to access it already, we are going to do the following. Now we need to figure out how do we then get this button here to respond to a click. So the idea, of course, of a button is that when you click it, something needs to happen. But how do we do that? Well, there's a few ways we can do this. So let's go back to our activity here and click on this button. Okay. What we can do, we can set here in our properties window, we can go ahead and set a function or method that will be called when that button is clicked. Okay, so what we can do here, we can go ahead and call this button show me, something like that. That means now we're going to be able to create a method, a function with this same name, and that function there will be called whenever we tap this button here, or click on this button. Okay, so now here we can go ahead outside of our own create. I'm going to create a public void. I'm going to call the same as we call this, going to be show me. I'm going to just copy that and paste here. Method. There we go. So inside here now, what we can do, we can go ahead and say mTextView.setText r.string.showText. Notice we haven't created this show text here. Okay, that's totally fine. What you can do, you can highlight it and click on this red icon here and say create string value resource show text. So let's click on that and you can do it from here. So what resource value you want to give it, it's going to be show name. Just very simply here say okay. And if you go back to strings, you should see here show text, show name. Okay, so the name is show text and then show name is the actual string. So now if you save this and run, we should be able to click and change the text. Show me, click. Whoops, something happened. What's going on here? Well, it turns out that since we are talking about views, okay, any widgets that we may use are part of the view class. Since we're talking about a view in our button here, we have to pass in a view object. Now, if this happens to you, where you have this red, that just means we have to import this package here, view. So a simple fix, you just go Control Enter, and then Option or Alt Enter, and then it should go away. If you look at here, it's going to say Android view.view. So that was imported, that library. Okay, so in this case here, now if we save this and run one more time, we should be able to see something. Hopefully, at least it won't die on us. So there we go. So at least it's not killing. The app is not dying. That's a good sign. But we can't see our text view. Well, you remember that if we go back to our activity main here, if you look at, let's look at our text view here, it's actually invisible. And we did this on purpose. That means now we have to come here before we show the text for our strings. At the top here, we need to say mTextView.setVisibility. That's a method we can use. Okay. And then we're going to say view.visible. So we're passing in the view to be visible before we set the text. So now we should see it. Let's run it one more time. If we get show me, we should see show name. All right, because that's exactly what we wanted to show here, show name. So we can show this, say something, hello there. Save this and run one more time. Apply change or start. If you go like this, hello there. Okay, perfect. So it's working. So this is one way of doing this, which is not wrong. However, I'd like to show you another way of doing this, okay? Which is the way I always want you to do. Unless you're creating a very, very simple application such as this one we're working on, this is fine, but I tend not to like this way. Okay, let's do the other way, right? So let's go ahead and comment this out. And we're going to go to our activity, and I'm going to get rid of, let's go to button, this method here, because we won't need it anymore. Let's go ahead and save this. Okay. So the other way we're going to do here is the way that I like doing things, which is I'm going to attach an event listener to our button here. Because now this button, remember, being a view, let's talk a little bit about this. So the hierarchy we have here with all of these widgets that we talk about, buttons, text view. So if you go back here, all of these are widgets, okay? But when you look at the whole hierarchy, they are widgets, but they inherit from the class view, which means if they inherit from class view, the parent class view, that means they've also inherited a lot of properties and behaviors from that class. That means we can do a lot of things with these subclasses, button, toggle button, checkboxes, and text view, and all of these widgets that are inheriting from our view parent class. So with that information in mind, that means we can attach anything. We can attach an event listener to any view. In this case, we are going to attach an event listener to the button here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and say mbutton dot set onClick listener, as you can see here. Now, the easiest way to do this is just go ahead and say enter, and inside we're going to instantiate another class, another object that will have the functions that we need so that we are able to then respond to this click event. So we're going to say new on click and click enter again, and there we go. Okay, so now we've set our button here to a onClick listener. In turn, inside we've created an onClick listener class object. We instantiated it inside here, and inside of it we have the onClick view method here, which is exactly what we need. So inside here we can put whatever we want, and it will be shown. It's going to be shown when we click on that button. So essentially it's the same as this, but here it's more Java oriented per se, and the best way of doing this. Okay, so here we can then just do as we did here. Let's copy this, copy it, and put it here. Get rid of that because we want it to actually run. Okay, and save this. It's going to do the same thing, but now we know we've done it the better way. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing like this, but I like this best, and I want you to do always like this. Okay, so we've attached the onClick listener here. Okay, so now we have this onClick, which takes again a view like we did here. Okay, and then we were able to then go ahead and do what we needed to do with our text view. So if we save this, you will see no changes at all, but the code has changed, and it looks much better right now. So it's going to show hello there. Okay, that's very awesome. So go ahead and take a look at what we just did here and play around with this concept, and I'll see you in the next video.